Okay, it's time to have some fun because two-time Tony Award winner Nathan Lane is back on Broadway in the play November. He plays a foul-mouthed, scheming neurotic who also happens to be President of the United States. Please welcome back to The View, Nathan Lane.
Oh, stop it. I love you, too. Come on, let's get a room. You know, I'm just here to promote my line of fine wines. I have a vineyard in Newark. It's doing very well. We fertilize with Red Bull, so it's called Power Grape. It's a real kick-ass Chardonnay. Hi, Barbara.
Hello, darling. Mwah.
How are you?
I'm just good. Listen.
You have more specials than Walmart.
I do.
Let me tell you. I've been listening to you backstage and everything, no matter what you mentioned. I did a special on that in 1962.
Absolutely. Well, thank goodness you have more plays on Broadway. Because I went to see November, as you know, I told you, and had a wonderful time. And, you know, everything is so grim. I mean, there are so many grim plays on Broadway and the movies.
So let's not talk about it. Let's talk about the Oscars.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to say. The Oscars are so grim. Did you see them?
Well, apparently...
Not the Oscars, but the movies.
Apparently, I was the only one. It was the least watched Oscars ever, really. And the Tony Awards would kill for those ratings.
Before I had a special.
But before that, you had a special, of course.
But that's it, okay. Well.
The Rise and Fall of Gary Busey. Yes. Did you see Gary Busey? See, Gary Busey is my favorite train wreck because if you didn't see it, he sort of inappropriately hugged Jennifer Garner. Yes. He was really I think he was just trying to get Ryan Seacrest's attention, which is easy. You just slip him your phone number. But, hey, work with me, people. So Gary, but I love Gary Busey. I think young Hollywood could learn a lesson from Gary Busey. We're always worried about Britney. Is she going to make it? But Gary is indestructible. Yes. Isn't he? He's like a Warner Brothers cartoon. Yes. You can run him over with a bus, drop a safe on him, two little feet wander out, and he pops up and says, let's go to the Playboy Mansion. You know, he is just a stint in rehab and a sex tape away from turning his career around.
Well, fortunately,
come on, let's make out, Barbara. Come on, let's shock America!
Nathan Bailey!
Ryan Seacrest just called.
Ryan Seacrest just called. Yeah, he found my phone number. Yeah.
You wonder why I liked November. You can't imagine what happened when I went backstage. Anyway, let's talk about this.
Okay.
So here you are.
Hilarious play.
Hilarious.
Great cast. Great cast. Laurie Metcalf, Dylan Baker, Ethan Phillips, Mike Nichols. We have a Mike Nichols in the play.
Yeah, exactly.
Fabulous cast.
Okay, but in it, you are foul-mouthed. You are cheap. You bribe people. Every other word is a four-letter word. You are the worst. And you are playing the President of the United States, and the audience howls. Do they howl because they see a connection? Or do they howl because it's just a very funny play?
I smell another special. I smell a special coming.
Do they think this is what goes on with
yes. Well, of course they see a connection. I would think that it comes as no surprise that there are funny goings-on in the White House from time to time. And also it's part of the comedy. I mean, it's like there's a surveillance camera in the Oval Office. Or it's like you're reading, the Nixon transcript.
Yeah, they're hilarious.
I mean, in Sicko, Michael Moore's documentary, there was that exchange with Ehrlichman and Nixon when he said, I'd like to talk to you about HMOs. And he said, I'm not interested in that. And he said, I think we can make a lot of money from them. And he said, I am interested in that. And it sounds like dialogue from the play. So, no, I don't think it's a shock to anyone.
How would you feel in your performance if Bush were actually in the audience? Would it change your performance?
Well, I believe Secret Service would probably wrestle me to the ground. Well, no. I mean, I doubt he'll be coming. We're not that close.
You're not.
No, I don't think that would affect. I mean, the play is what it is, and it's not I'm not playing him. I mean, there is Mr. Mamet, the brilliant David Mamet, who wrote the play. He is allowing the audience to laugh at some of the things that have happened over the last 7 years.
Yes.
I mean, there is a built-in thing. This is a president who his approval rating is very low. So there are a couple of similarities, but he's actually a much more complex character than Mr. Bush.
Yeah, there is a part of it where you are pardoning turkeys, and that happens every year at Thanksgiving. The president has to pardon a turkey.
Yes.
The real president.
That's legit.
Well, David Mamet was at a dinner where a woman said I was on a plane with these turkeys who were going to Washington to be pardoned, and that's sort of where he got the germ of the idea for the play, is that, isn't this hilarious? And they were in first class.
Speaking of approval ratings,
That's very terrible,
your
yeah.
approval ratings are far from low. You have 2 Tonys. Funny thing happened on the way to the forum, and for the producers. Any other musicals up your sleeve?
Well, you know, this week I'm doing a workshop of a new musical by the team who brought you Hairspray, Mark Shaman and Scott Whitman.
Cool.
And a book by Terrence McNally, and it's a musical based on the film and book Catch Me If You Can.
Yeah.
And I'm playing the Tom Hanks part.
Really?
Yes. And
Can I do a special on it?
I just try and stop you. Yes. It's a wonderful piece of material, and we've been developing it for a few years, and hopefully that will come to fruition.
Let's hope it comes to New Haven.
New Haven? Is that where you live now?
No, you said,
have a mansion in New
Let's
Haven?
hope it comes to fruition. I said, I hope it just comes to New Haven.
Oh, good night. Drive Camberley, drive the beef. Okay, I get it.
It's a theater
It
joke.
was wordplay.
It's a theater joke.
Oh, you.
You took over a part that Nathan had done.
Yes, I did.
Yes.
I've followed Mr. Lane.
There's a
many
lot of
times.
similarity
Yes.
between the two of you.
Yes,
Everybody
there are.
notices.
Yes,
right?
people tell me all the time. I gave
Yes.
Ryan Seacrest my number, too.
There you go. Look.
Whoopee.
There's Whoopi.
Yes.
Look at that.
Whoopi was absolutely fabulous. She took over, and a funny thing happened on the way to the forum. And if they had rulings, she would have won a Tony too.
You want to ask a quick question before
I just wanted to say the idea of doing the movies, because you did Birdcage and you're doing the. Are you having a good time?
I'm having the best time. I mean, there's nothing better than doing a play where people laugh from beginning to end, and they just and then at the end they come up to me and thank me. It's been fabulous.
I was there. I saw an opening night, and there were Republicans behind me from Dallas, and they were laughing.
There you go. It's a bipartisan play.
Even the turkeys laugh.
Even the turkeys are laughing.
Listen, we laugh. You can come on with us, and you're so good. You come on The View very often, and we love you a lot.
Thank you.
So we want to tell you, you want to laugh, you want to get it away from it all. November on Broadway at the Ethel Barrymore Theater, and you're there until July.
Until July.
You better hurry up. And if you don't, I'll do a special. We'll be right back.